Loudest keyboards, how to make them louder. In a world where advances in technology have allowed us faster and silent keyboards, there's still some who wants to hear the loud tic-tac that came with older keyboards and typewriters. Some may want these louder keyboards as a form of nostalgia, while others may see it useful for self-soothing purposes or for work on creative projects. But whatever the reason is, you need a louder keyboard. So in this video, we'll list some of the loudest keyboards in the market. And we will rate them based on practicality, usability, and noise levels. But before we get into specific, it's worth noting that some of the noisiest keyboards you can get today are mechanical keyboards because they have individual keys that a user must press down fully in order to follow through their keystroke. A mechanical keyboard is naturally louder than keyboards with film membranes on them, like what most laptop keyboards have today. So without further ado, here's the list. Number 1 is the Cherry MX Blue keyboard. This is the most tactile keyboards built with precision and feedback in mind, and it's excellent for any professional wanting guaranteed feedback while typing, gaming, or working. The brand specializes in keyboards without audible clicks too, but here we're focusing on their audible keyboard known as the Cherry MX Blue. From the link, you can listen to audio that plays out the sounds of this smooth keyboard. The keyboard is very usable in the office environment where you have the choice to turn RGB keys on or off. It's one of the most practical mechanical keyboards on the market too. As far as audio goes, the clicking noises seem pleasantly loud but not overbearing. Any keyboard manufacturer using Cherry MX Blue's keyboard mechanisms are considered a standard today for typists. Number 2 is the Razer Ornata keyboard. Razer has possibly created the most pleasant mechanical keyboards on the market. The Ornata keyboard's keys are designed to click when pressed in and click again when finished with the keystroke. Especially the keyboard makes it sound like you are typing at a double speed. The idea with the Ornata was to create the pleasant experience of membrane keyboards and merge it with the tactile feedback featured in mechanical keyboards. There's no doubt that the Ornata Chromata is a louder version compared to the MX Blue keyboard, and this keyboard is also very affordable, which makes it perfect for purchases to bolster your office or gaming setup. This keyboard also has color chroma options that can be shut off or on depending on your needs. Some versions include wrist rests too, which can be nice. Number 3 is the IBM Model M buckling springboards. This is probably one of the loudest keyboards ever invented. The sounds of each keystroke can almost get as loud as a typewriter. Unfortunately, most IBM Model M keyboards are extremely hard to find in their original form. But there are some companies that sell similar keyboards using the buckling spring mechanism. Buckling spring keyboards are very loud, but their mechanical feedback is unmatched. That makes this type of keyboard perfect for writers that value this tactile feedback. With that said, I don't quite recommend this in the office setting unless you want to prank your coworkers. Otherwise, it's perfect for home and for projects where you need a truly loud mechanical keyboard. Number 4, typewriter keyboards. Yep, that's correct. There are some actual typewriter-inspired keyboards on the market, and these go back to the good old days with the vintage circled keys, scrolling features, and typing mechanisms that were available before the age of computers. One of the most popular but expensive typewriter keyboard is the quirky Writer S mechanical keyboard. It supports a variety of computers, tablets, phones, and laptops, which make it versatile for those wanting that pleasing typing aesthetic across platforms. It's a solid keyboard too, featuring Cherry MX Blue tech. Every key attached to it is made of metal with all the bells and whistles that original typewriters had, except reimagined for the computing world too. These are only one of the few loudest mechanical keyboards I found for sale online. But the main gist is that mechanical keyboards are perfect if you want it to be louder than their thinner membrane type keyboard cousins. Do-it-yourself hacks for louder keyboard strokes. Number 1. For Windows users, enable filter keys. When enabled, Windows will play a sound whenever you tap the keys on the keyboard you have. To enable this feature, number 1, open Settings on your desktop. Number 2, find Ease of Access. Number 3, select the keyboard tab under Interaction. Number 4, turn on filter keys. Make sure that audio feedback for key presses is on. And number 5, well, that's it. You now have your sounds for your keystrokes. Keep in mind that this is only an option for Windows users, and it may not be the most accurate compared to mechanical keyboards. However, but it's certainly more reliable and safer from the third-party software, which can be dangerous for your privacies. Number 2, use software, not hardware. If you wanted your strokes to sound less like a flimsy keyboard and more like a typewriter, just download a software that will turn a key press into audible feedback straight from your computer. So, there's an article from Indefinite Loop which shares some amazing keyboard apps that you can use on Mac, Windows, and even Linux machines. Some programs even allow you to choose which sound you want to play, which could end up allowing for hilarious pranks and satisfying sounds. The one that I recommend the most is QWERTY, because the program itself is only 33 kilobytes in size, though there are some great options in the article depending on the device you're using. I want to warn that downloading apps that have to do with keystrokes may be dangerous because of privacy concerns, so make sure you do your research about a particular program before deciding on downloading one for your use. The loudest keyboard ever. So this guy on Reddit posted a video that you have to check out. It's a beam spring keyboard connected to a clicking solenoid. The result is beautiful. The video will be in the description box below, or you can find it in the article, which will also be in the description box below. In conclusion, make sure you are happy with your loud keyboard. At the end of the day, when you get a mechanical keyboard, the most standard types are ones with Cherry MX Blue features. These types of keyboards are varied and fit a variety of home and office standards. Of course, there's the option of getting a buckling spring keyboard for that extra click and clack action, but it's not recommended for the working atmosphere. And there are ways of using software to enhance your typing experience instead of shelling out the money for a louder keyboard. Whatever you decide, make sure to choose the keyboard that is right for you. Check out Keyboard Kings. For more guides and reviews, go to my website keyboardkings.com. A link to this article will be in the description box below.